All right, so on your next available page, sorry, mine got glued on a little too high. You are going to label it Context Clues Help on top as your title. And then you're going to be using the next page in your composition notebook that has all the thought bubbles on it, or I'm sorry, in your packet. And you're going to cut that out all the way around the outside, glue the whole thing down as your page. So go ahead and pause the video right now to write your title, cut out your page, glue it on, and get it set up. And when you're done, press play again. All right, so we are going to fill out your little thought bubbles here and all the blanks that are on there. So this is just another page of tips or help or advice if you are still stuck with finding the meaning of unknown words in a text and using context clues. So the first thought bubble says, I'll zoom in a little bit here. What words blank the unknown word suggest its meaning? What words around the unknown word suggest its meaning? This is probably your biggest help or your biggest tip. If you notice in all the practice that we've done so far with finding context clues, we've used words or phrases around the unknown word to figure out what they meant. And that was a big help for us to figure out what those words mean. So that's probably going to be your best bet. But if this doesn't work, you can follow all the rest of the tips here. So the next one over says, what do I already know that helped me understand the word? Or what blank do I already know? What similar words? Remember when we were doing yesterday, the Vancouver paragraph, one of your bolded words in there, actually, let's go back to it. One of your bolded words in there was picturesque. And remember, I underlined that part of the word. We knew what part of that word meant. It was a very easy word that we've learned a long time ago. So that's kind of what this is saying here. What similar words, or maybe what smaller parts of the word you already know what they mean that could help you understand the word. Okay? All right, next one in the middle. Oops. Does the author give a blank to help me understand the word? Does the author give a synonym or antonym to help me understand the word? So synonym means the same. Antonym means opposite. So do they give opposite or the same words, or words that mean the same or opposite later on in the text? Sometimes you'll see an example that says an unknown word, and then it'll have a comma after it, and then it'll say like, and then it'll give another example for the reader to help understand what they're talking about. That would be a synonym. Or sometimes they'll say unlike right after it, and they'll give an opposite meaning of that word. Bottom left is the blank in explanation, or is the word followed by an explanation? Sometimes in the same sentence or the sentence right after, they kind of explain what that means. A lot of the times in textbooks, you will find that. You'll find the bolded word, and then the sentence after that, they give the definition of what that bolded word means. In the last bubble, does the blank of the passage make the meaning clear? Does the purpose of the passage make the meaning clear? Figure out what the main idea or what the theme of that passage is, or the paragraph or the sentence that you're looking at. And based off of what you think the theme is there some clues or help that you can kind of use to figure out what those words mean? And that's what this thought bubble is helping you with here. All right, so now that you have a little bit of notes done, I'm going to make this little less blurry. You're going to use the next page in your packet, which is called the Goldilocks and the 3 Yalops. And what you're going to be doing on this page is reading through the story. I did not copy the backside that I normally do with this paper or this story. But what I'm going to have you do with this is go through with a pencil or a highlighter or a colored pencil or a marker or something, and you're going to underline nonsense words. So underline or circle. Nonsense words in this story. There are going to be lots of them. You've probably never heard of them. In fact, they're not real words. But we're going to pretend that they are real words. And we're going to use what we are given to us in the text and different places around that word in the text to figure out what those nonsense words could actually mean. There's going to be a Google form attached to this where you're going to fill in what you think those words mean and what gave those words away, what context clues helped you right around that nonsense word figure out what they mean. So I'll give you an example. The first one, well, let's read through. Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Goldilocks. I'm going to pause there. We all know, hopefully we all know, a lot of us know, what this story, Goldilocks and the Three Yalops. We know a story very similar called Goldilocks and the Three Bears. So Yalops maybe means bears. We don't know for sure. But Yalops I'm going to underline because you'll find that a lot through this story, and that's one of our nonsense words. But based off of a context clue or prior knowledge of knowing about this story, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, we might be able to guess what Yalops means. Okay? Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Goldilocks. She lived at the edge of the Zinca with her family. Zinca, I've never heard of that word before, so I'm going to underline that. That's one of our nonsense words. Okay? One morning, while she was picking rassels, I don't know what rassels are, Goldilocks wandered into the Zinca and lost her way. Zinca again. She was very frightened, but then she saw a friendly little sorotong in the distance. Okay? I'm going to stop there, but you're going to underline all the nonsense words that you do not know. You'll be able to tell what the words are that are nonsense and what are not. Then on the Google form, you're going to make a guess of what those words mean, and then you're also going to tell me what context clues kind of helped you figure out what that unknown word means. Okay? All right, so let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, good luck, and make sure you're filling out the Google form with